Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, here's another installment from Steve Adventure Academy, and today we're going to talk about the top 5 EDC knives I'll probably never buy. Now, that might seem like a strange topic, but people often ask me, because I seem to be committed to a particular brand and to a particular style, if there are any other knives that I might look at. And of course, I put a lot of effort into this. I've actually been working on this idea for a couple of months, to really seriously look outside the box, to look at custom manufacturers and production knives, to really look at, knives that don't generally appeal to my sensibility, insofar as you've probably realized, I do love the Tanto style, American Tanto. However, there are some other knives that really do catch my eye for a variety of reasons, and so I thought I would go ahead and see what we can do. Of course, when we're talking about grail knives, if we were to start at the beginning, the absolute grail is the one pictured here, which is the Cold Steel Warcraft 13 TL. 7.5-inch blade, CPM 3V, G10. It's ridiculous. And of course, once you get the chickening out V-edge off, and get into a more convex grind, it'll feather stick like a monster. But that's not necessarily the topic today, since we did buy that one. And so the top 5 knives I'll probably never own. Well, let's start out with the Honourable Mentions. This is a really neat knife from Koch Tools, the KTC2. You can see that it's clearly stoled out. Comes in the S35 VN. What's fun about this one is it is a folder, but it comes with a built-in pry tool. So rather than prying with the cleverly compound ground, I know it's almost a Tanto, with the relief, so you can flick it like you would a knife with a big hole in it. But this one's kind of cool, fun design. Of course, it's going to be double thick, so that might not really work in your pocket, but it's still a really neat design. So, honorable mention, the Koch Tools. Next, when it comes to honorable mentions, we'll be looking at the, honorable mentions, Cold Steel Triple Action. This, in my mind, is the ultimate fidget knife. Tanto point, of course, because you just gotta have it. I wish Cold Steel would spend a little bit more time with their pocket clips, leaving the screw out. I would love to see the metal folded over and then the screw in the back. Deep carry, even if the knife doesn't slide any deeper into your pocket, because you know Cold Steel wants you to be able to reach it. I just love the aesthetic of a pocket clip that wraps over. But Cold Steel Triple Action, super cool in the honorable mention category. Moving on once more to honorable mentions, we're looking at the Williams design. This is not a Tanto in the very traditional Japanese style knife. G10, this one I believe is an M390. Just got a really neat aesthetic that's appeals to an all different part of my sensibility. They are, again, sold out, obscenely expensive, but really, really nice piece. When we start looking at the actual top 5, we would be looking for spot number 5, I believe, we'd be looking at the Chris Reeves. How can you go wrong with a Chris Reeve? This one is the large in Cossi Tanto, as you can see. I did stay with the Tanto theme. Of course, you're going to throw that lanyard away because you're carrying the string in your pocket. But what are you going to say about Chris Reeve? But it's a Chris Reeve. I would love to see Chris do something a little different with the anodizing. Maybe there'd be something that's a little bit less pronounced, but bright colors seem to be popular this year. And frankly, the backside with this oddly bent, looks like he made it in his backyard pocket clip. Again, something that wrapped over with a hole through it, that kind of just hiding the bolt rather than saying, hey, look, I just bolted this pocket clip on because I didn't have anywhere else to put it. I would also love to see something done with the lock bar, but we'll come back to some of the ones that are scored a little higher. Let's see. So also tied for 5th place was the enormous Park River Bravo Taupe Recon in 3V with the green canvas micarta. If any of you have we're drawn into the knife world by movies like Rambo, but more particularly the machetes and also belt knives from the movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. This is a great design. It's just got great swooping lines. The fuller's really pretty. You love the sharpening choil. It's really nice and deep. Just a crazy nice shape. Even the bump of the pommel, the little jut, very, very cool piece of steel. And so tied for number 5 would be this guy right here. At number 4, we'd be looking at Leroy Jethro Gibbs knife, NCIS. Who doesn't want a zero tolerance? Open assist, I believe, on this one. Nice blade steel, the tiger stripe design, and of course that Medford Thunky thing where it flips out and hits the frame rather than actually locking. So I guess it's a double lock there. Just a really fun design. What's interesting here, I like of course you've got these we've got a tiger stripe, and then you've got a very fish-shaped top to the blade, and then the drop with the recurve, and then even the flipper is on a very similar line. You can see the lines of the knife are really nice. It's got some great features, but most of it is about curb appeal or how it looks in your hand. I think this one would put a smile on your face every time. Number 4, it had to be cold steel. I really struggled with this one, but the Hatamoto is so beautiful. Sanmai 3 construction, G10 scales, Tanto tip. The only thing, again, I wish that they would do, I love this relieved pocket clip. Very nicely done, cold steel. But instead of having the 3 bolts showing, why not flip that pocket clip over, cover the bolts up, just make it a little nicer. With this one, I would almost even say, pardon me for this, but no pocket clip. That way you wouldn't need this relief hole to make it ambidextrous. And it would just be such a clean, classy looking piece. Even the contrast of the 3 materials, very nice. Number 2, very difficult. But number 2, I would say, is probably the Chavez Redención. What a beautiful piece that is. Comes in a semi-tanto blade with the compound grinds. It's not a compound grind in that ugly, crazy, let's just make a compound grind. But just some really nice grind lines. I love the swoop here. Almost matches the swoop in the back, but not quite. And then you've got the grinding along the spine of the blade. The jimping is the same, very symmetrical. It travels right into the handle. And I love that he's done something with the lock bar. Instead of just, let's make a straight line and then another straight line. Ooh, that's imaginative. And of course, the pocket clip is super cool. Now, of course, people have a love it or hate it relationship with that pocket clip. People are going to have a love it or hate it relationship with this channel. So this one fits right in. Chavez, very cool. Difficult to get, maybe a little bit pricey, but at least you're still an M390, so good for you, buddy. Number 1, I really struggled at not having this being the number 1, because this is what really said, you know what, maybe a custom manufacturer can do it because he's doing something different with the lock bar, and the grinds are really, really nice. But then somebody showed me this tool. Now this is not, of course, number 1 because it's not even a knife, but just a really classy pry bar / multi-tool from Vero Designs. And then I got to look at his knife. Wow, very pretty. Again, personally, in my aesthetic, I would probably ditch the blue, but he does those accents in a variety of colors or in no color at all, which would be right in my wheelhouse. But this is just a beautiful piece. Tanto tip, some relief in the back so you can get your flick on, very fidgetable, but without having that gaudy hole drilled in it. And of course the front side, the fascia side, is just perfect. Simple bolts, simple bolt-up pattern, the multifaceted front scale so you get that dimension without a lot of craziness. Clean grind lines, long sloping swoop right from the spine all the way down to the cutting edge. If we look again, here it is folded again. Got kind of an industrial look, but not so bad. Flipper tab, of course, it pops up in the back, but disappears when the knife is fully deployed. This is just really smart. We don't need that gizmo hanging down there, really. If you need hand protection, there's lots of knives that give you that. Lots of knives I really love that give you that. We get into some finger grooves, multiple hand positions, extra security so it can't slide now, can't slide now. Good stuff. But this has got such a nice, clean aesthetic. Just really smart. Back view here, again. Really nice steels, super clean, almost impossible to get, and a little hard on the wallet since that's in USD. But I don't know, guys, this might be worth it. So having come through the list, the width and breadth of everything that I could find with the magic of the interweb, this really, I think, is number one. The fact that the handle, when it's deployed, the handle really transitions so smoothly with the eye right into the blade, almost as if it's one piece of steel, but still foldable in a nice size. Wow, super nice. So there we have it. The top 5 of knives it's likely that I'll never own. Quick reasons why not. Well, this one's super exclusive, super hard to get, and frankly, $300 for a knife that is technically not better than a knife I already own, the almighty Recon 1 in S35VN. It's beautiful, but $300, that's fully twice as much as this. Is it twice as beautiful? Yeah, but it's not twice as strong. And this is really cool, blacked out. What are you going to do? Coming back through the Chavez, very cool knife. It's so nice, I don't know if I would use it. You can cut with this all day. The DLC doesn't wear at all, as you can see. This knife is used. People question me, do you even use your knife? Yeah, this knife is used, but the cold steel diamond-like coating actually is diamond-like. You got to get in there with a rock in order to peel that stuff off. Coming back to the Hatamoto, discontinued, very pricey in the secondary market. Again, it's so beautiful, I don't know if I'd even use it. The Zero Tolerance, great looking knife, but 2 out of 3 in cold steel's test, you could overcome the lock strength with just your hand. It wouldn't even hold 30 pounds of weight. These ones have never been pushed completely to the edge, but similar construction from cold steel, 445 pounds in a weight hang on just the G10 scales. How are you going to beat that? Less than 30 pounds, 445 pounds, and didn't fail. Same price. Sorry, Zero Tolerance, not going to make the cut. The Bark River, well, I looked very seriously at that one, but I had to have the Warcraft. Why compromise if you're going to spend your hard-earned money? Get the knife. But that's a really nice choice if you don't like mine. Chris Reeves, again, the lock strength, very low. Super low. The price, holy mackerel. Get a look at that. But don't look directly at it, you probably turn to stone. And what's the spec? Oh, wait. S35BN. Birder. $150? $450. I don't see it. And of course the honorable mentions, very cool, super nice steel. Couldn't possibly go wrong except for the hit to your wallet. Hatamoto, ultimate fidget factor, way too nice to use. And a great big fat old folder. Folder to be small, but it comes with a pry bar. Well, that's a quick review. I hope you're going to have a wonderful day. And thanks again so much for spending a little bit of time with the Adventure Academy. Stay sharp.